Manisha. 10:32. So I think let's start. So good morning and Jai Hind. And Shikha, thank you so much for being here. And some of you who were there, in the April session will know that Shikha, likes her sessions to be interactive. She has a lot of as many questions for you as you have for her.
Yeah.
And based on the April session, we got a peek into the uh, fact that she likes momos and chow mein. When she talked of food, she talked of momos first. But I would wager a bet that she likes chole bhature more because she talked a lot about chole bhature in the session last time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so Shikha, you are most of you will be familiar with, but Right Side Story is her passion project, and her dream is to see every child safe. And you know, we're very fortunate that she's here with us today, and also with my Good School Alliance as a partner. And she does workshops in schools covering several subjects. uh, Bullying, and the last session there was a lot of dialogue around bullying, but there also she does sessions on mental health, substance abuse, cyber safety, personal well-being, empowering, basically looking ways to empower students so that they can make responsible decisions. And her passion really comes through in the way she runs things. So again, Shikha, for being here and for doing this for us.
Thank you so
And
much,
over to you.
Jagdeep. Thank you so much, sir, for the humble introduction. Good morning, everyone. I don't see a lot of you switching on the cameras. Can I request all of you to please switch on the camera? It's very tough to talk about growing up with a screen which doesn't grow up. You know what I mean? So I need to see faces who will grow up. And because we are talking about growing up, there are few rules before we begin this session. First is we have to keep smiling. Is that okay? A thumbs up? Athar looks very busy. You need to smile, Athar. Yeah. And everybody has to keep their the mics off. There will be a lot of times when I would want you to switch on your mics, but for now, we will keep them off. Second, very interesting thing. We are going to talk about growing up, and through this journey, there will be a lot of questions popping up. And I want you to use the chat box and ask me personally. You don't have to put it to everybody on the group. Just ask me personally. It's okay. I will not take your name, but I will give you the answer. Does that work too? Yeah, a thumbs up. Just showing the thumbs up on the screen is okay. Great. Are we all excited? Yes. Just a nod. Yes, no. And people who have not switched on your cameras, I would request if you can, it'll be good to have more and more participants for this session. Great. So as Jugjeev sir said that Shikha is going to make it very interactive. So I'm going to ask you questions. What do you think? What do we mean by growing up? And what's that one thing that comes to your mind when you think of growing up? You can unmute yourself, answer this. That's okay. But what is growing up? Anyone? Kshitij, you have unmuted.
Sorry, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Unmuted by mistake. You can use the chat box also. It's okay. I need to understand because this is something very serious that is happening in your life right now. You are growing up. So what do you mean by growing up?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Ara.
Ma'am, we mean by up is that we can get self-independent by ourselves,
Okay.
according to me.
Okay, self-independent. And how old are you, Arav?
Ma'am, I am 14.
14. And when you say self-independent, what do you mean by that?
Ma'am, we can do anything of our choice. That is very much right for our decisions.
Okay, we will talk about it. Satvik is saying hello. Being mature and be aware of what are things happening, developing mentally and physically. Okay. Anybody else? What is growing up? I see hostel students also. If they want to speak up, agar mic pe bolna hai, you can come and talk. Okay. No problem. We can go ahead. So when we talk about growing up, we mean puberty. Everybody knows what's puberty? A thumbs up or a no? Yes, we all know what is puberty. Puberty is when we are growing up. In your language, puberty is a software update in our mind where the body is saying that, okay, you're not a kid anymore, let's grow up. Yeah? Does that make sense? Great. So let me ask you another very, very interesting questions now. Yes, we know girls grow up in a different manner, boys grow up in a different manner, the body is different, everything is different. But one very big question. Do you really think that only girls go through puberty and boys don't? Or we both go through puberty, girls and boys? You can use the chat box and it's like a,
Both, ma'am.
yeah, both. Yeah, you have to use the chat box quickly now because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Do you think you get taller during puberty? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Does everyone go through puberty at the same age? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, because everyone is different, ma'am.
Why? What do you mean by different?
Ma'am, everyone has its own ability or anything different in them. So
Ability is,
no, ma'am, something like they all have to go through it, but just at different ages. As
Ma'am, may I?
yes.
Ma'am, everyone has their own, everyone get the puberty according to their testosterone.
Okay, but testosterone तो होता ही नहीं females में ज़्यादा.
or ma'am,
You're talking about men.
ma'am, due to genetics, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Shitij. So basically, we are trying to say that everybody grows differently because of the genes, because of their genes. Everybody has different genes. So the growth and a lot of things that happens in our mind, body, a lot of things depend on our genes. So thank you so much, Shitij, for saying that. And Aradhe, yes, testosterone plays a very important role, but for men, not for women. Okay, next question. Does puberty change your feelings too? Yes or no? Anybody who thinks no? Okay, now we are clear. Next, can you control your puberty?
No,
Is
ma'am.
it,
No, ma'am, it is not in our hands.
it's not in your hands? Why? Again, a big why.
Ma'am, because it's a physical state and it cannot be avoided.
Mm-hmm. Because you're growing, it's a physical,
Ma'am,
what?
physical state, ma'am, in which our body goes through a transformation.
Yeah, yeah. It's a natural process, yes, and it is all about your hormones. So when you're born, you already have those hormones. It's just that when when you are in that puberty phase, right? When you're in that puberty phase, your hormones get activated. You're born with the hormones. It's not that hormones are developed that time. No, you already have those hormones. It's just that they get activated that time. And that activation depends on your genes. Clear? Okay. Then, um, do you think body odor and puberty has to do something with each other? Tricky question.
I didn't understand, ma'am.
Body odor. बॉडी ओडर पता है सबको क्या होता है? When you're smelling bad under your arms, yeah, when you're playing, does that mean that during puberty only you will have body odor? Puberty से पहले होता है body odor, पसीने की smell?
Ma'am, it does happen.
No, it does
Because-
happen, but is it related to puberty? Yes or no?
Ma'am, not it is not
Yes,
related
ma'am.
to
Ma'am, it is
puberty.
related.
Okay, Arav is saying it's not related. इससे puberty का क्या लेना देना है, right?
Ma'am, because our sweat hormones are at their peak too, ma'am. So we get a lot of sweat, which causes bacteria, and eventually that causes bad odor.
Yeah, Arav, समझ आ गया?
Yes, ma'am.
Has to do with puberty, and when you are in that phase, I think Kshitij has very nicely answered. Yeah. So ये जो this body odor, is it limited to boys or girls also?
Ma'am, girls too, ma'am.
Girls too. इसका तो कुछ gender से लेना देना नहीं है. Both. Yeah. Great. What do we do for that?
Ma'am, we should maintain hygiene, and ma'am, we should try to be clean and all avoid being dirty and clean ourselves regularly.
Okay. Avoid being dirty and clean ourselves. Anything else? Use talcum. Use deodorant. Especially students in the hostel. Are we doing that? Because whenever we have gone and spoken to children about puberty in hostels, we always wanted a mask. What is this happening? Why are we not using the deodorant or the talcum, so on and so forth? So when we are, yes, so hygiene is very, very critical. Everyone, I hope you all are listening. Hygiene is very critical when we talk about puberty. Yes, this is the first time pasina aa raha hai, itna, because body is not able to understand what is happening. There's so much, hormonal, uh, so many hormones are pumping in our body. Testosterone is there, estrogen is there. We are preparing ourselves for adulthood. So there's so much happening. Yeah, so we need to make sure that in this time we keep ourselves hydrated, we keep ourselves clean, take shower, use talcum or a deodorant, okay? Then, next question. Do you think your brain also changes during puberty? The brain.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is
For
changing
sure.
in your brain? What is changing in your brain?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
the
the
way
knowledge.
mindset.
Mindset.
Yes.
Okay.
ma'am, the way we think,
The
and
way
like
When we are thinking like an adult.
yeah. Yes. Your brain is definitely rewiring right now because at puberty, the most critical feeling that you feel that time is um independence. That why are people giving me any dialogues, or why are they preaching me? No, I know I'm an adult now. I know everything. Yeah. So it's called self-inflicted independence is what the puberty will bring in. Yes, because the brain is rewiring, that doesn't mean that you are an adult. India में Who is an adult? At what age do we become an adult officially?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, at the age
18.
of 18.
Anybody else? What
Well,
age?
20 or 20.
19 or 20 officially. 50? Mayank Jaiswal, what is wrong with you? 50? No, 18. Vaibhav, it's 18. When getting a job, no. Legally, we become an adult when we are 18 because we have the right to vote. Yeah. So on and so forth. So we become an adult at the age of 18. And how old are you right now? Can you be an adult? No. Your just mind is rewiring right now and it needs to understand what are we doing? How are we doing? Are we open to these new feelings? So Divyanshu, you said, what was your answer?
19 or 20.
Sorry,
19 or 20.
19 or 20, but you know it's 18, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Legally, you become an adult when you're 18, when you go to college. Now, my next question is that you said, when I asked you about the brain changes, you said yes, it changes.
Yes, ma'am. Mindset, the way of thinking of
Yeah, yeah. So when you said mindset, what do you mean by a mindset?
that means like our self-respect and the some attitudes that comes in our minds.
Mhm. Okay.
Like,
Self-respect and different attitudes that you're
yes,
talking
ma'am.
about. Okay, we'll talk about it later during the session. My next critical question. A lot of times we think that girls have mood swings, but do you think boys also have mood swings?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
much.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow,
It's
very
very
much.
much. It's very
Ma'am,
much.
in the first second we are angry, and then suddenly something good happens for us. We are really happy.
Okay, and you think that that is because of puberty?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
take it.
Ma'am,
And
because we get
Yes,
more
ma'am.
emotions during the age of puberty and adolescence.
all right, you're right. What kind of emotions?
Ma'am, like when before our puberty, we not get very much angry. But at the age of puberty, our emotion get very much strong, due to which we can get more anger, more happiness,
Hey,
and
very nice.
less.
Okay, so do you think adults, when you become an adult after 18, you will not get angry?
Ma'am, we will get, but at that time we can
Ma'am,
know how to control our anger and our emotions
Ma'am,
ma'am, that time
Okay,
we
so
are
you
mature.
are trying to say that when we become adult, we would know how to and when to control our anger
ma'am,
and emotions of ours.
and
ma'am,
emotion.
during the puberty, ma'am, we get very excess emotions, and we are not knowing how to manage them. So, we have mood swings and very big mood swings.
Sorry, you what?
Ma'am, during puberty, ma'am, we get many emotions which we are not familiar to, and that's why we are unable to use them properly, and that's why we have mood swings. But adults can manage, and they are familiar with it as they have gone all of their adolescence with it, so they are able to control the emotions.
Okay, Arav, you are also on unmute. Do you want to say anything? Add on?
No, no, no.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Kshitij. I would want more people to. Yes, Veda, thank you so much. One girl who is
Ma'am, I
talking. Yes.
think so. Like when we are child and when we are like less 18, like we are 16 or 17, we anger, but little bit of childish anger we have. Like when we become adult, we uh, we became very angry. I think so because we have lot of pressure, we have lot of works, and that time we cannot control our anger, and we can like above 18 we can do anything, and that is very then and that anger is more and more dangerous than the anger we do in childhood, I think so.
Okay, thank you so much, Veda. I think this was very, very intense and very deep. but we'll talk about it throughout the session. You can lower your hand. Thank you so much. So now when we talk about puberty, now when we're talking about puberty, another interesting question. What is that one thing that you feel which is the most weird about puberty? Most weird thing.
Ma'am, we don't know how to go through this period.
Yeah, great. I want everyone to just write it down so that it's easy and I can pick up one by one. Should
Ma'am,
he said yes, Arav.
ma'am, we don't know what to do in this age because we think that we are the only one knowing everything, but we are not that thing. That we know
Absolutely.
everything.
That's what I said. You will have that feeling because you're becoming in that process of becoming an adult. Yeah, you're in that process of becoming an adult. तो फर्स्ट थिंग तो माइंड से ही शुरू होता है ना बॉडी तो आता रहता है पहले माइंड में द रीवायरिंग इज हैपनिंग द हॉर्मोन्स आर हैपनिंग हैव यू गाइस सीन दिस मूवी I'm forgetting the name but I'll come back to that there's this movie which has very interestingly talked about puberty. Yes, Veda, are you saying something else?
Ma'am, in age of puberty, we are very confused. We became very
Confused about
confused.
what?
Like like we like our career, and the things was like how we manage our family and the career.
Mm-hmm.
Like that moment was like very confusing, like how we can manage and how we what are the problems we can suffer for.
Okay, again very intense. We will get back to that. Atharv is saying behavioral changes. That's the most weird thing. Yes, because a lot of emotions right now you are facing, you're feeling for the first time. You don't, when you were a kid, you don't know what jealousy is, do we? You don't know what, feeling hurt means. No, we are kids, we are playing, we don't know all that. So when we are growing up, we also understand a lot of happy and sad emotions. Yeah? When we say happy emotions, what are the happy emotions that we are feeling in puberty? I need more participation. Guys, I only have three, four people. Saksham, you were there last time also, and you were active. Why don't you tell me what kind of happy emotions do we feel during puberty? Happy emotions. Ordered for something. Yes, Atharv. Mayank, Parimal, Divyanshu, getting success. Emotion. Boys and girls, I'm talking about emotion. What is that emotion? The happy emotion. Getting praised, learning from failure, okay. Getting popular in school for doing something great, okay. Very interesting. Getting success, getting known. So technically, all of you are saying that getting a validation from people is something that makes you happy. Getting full marks in exam. Aradhya, wow, that makes you happy. That will make you happy. Okay. When we see improvement in our, okay, so there's a very there's a very interesting message that I've got that what makes you happy? Getting a mustache. It's on a personal chat. But yes, that's something that, boosts your confidence that okay, abhi mera ye ho raha hai. I'm getting my mustache. Learning from our mistake, improving our life, getting facilitated in front of everyone, success. We get excited by small things like talking with someone or our friends. Noticing body features. Kshitij, now when you've put it on an open forum, I would like to understand what do you mean by body features? Noticing body
Like
features.
you will see yourself as we have. I have a larger height. I have gotten muscles. I am growing a little bit of mustache. I am getting beard and like that type of things.
Okay. Veda?
Ma'am, I think so. Like the happy emotions when we smile, when we share our things to our friends, and like in a hostel, we we do lot of fun, and that is our happy emotion. And in age of puberty, we have very daring kind of mind, so we always trying to do something like very fun and something daring kind of thing.
Yes. So these are all the emotions, positive emotions that we feel during puberty when we want to get recognized, when, we want awards, when we want to do this, that, go on the stage, feel the success. But what about girls? Yes, Veda is the only one, but I want more females to come up and talk about it. Someone sees our potential that we can do. Yes, having positivity inside our soul. Very nice. Knowing that, yes, this is my skill. Yes. Also get happy from small things. Can't pinpoint to a single cause. Yeah, that's okay. Arfa, that's fine. Learning from mistakes, so on and so forth. Whether you have again, you want
Ma'am,
to
the
say something?
happiest moment and the thing for girls is that when we share our things from mother, when we see our mother very, very beautifully, and like when we celebrate festivals with our brother and sister, and the girls is like very soft hearted, I think so. And sometimes they are physically and mentally little bit of soft, and I think so they want some kind of love and protection from their mother, and they expect that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Veda. Once again, our mothers comfort us on every cause too and forgive us every time too. Yes, of course, that's what mothers are for. They're the givers of love and nurture and growth. So, yes, coming back to puberty and the happy emotions. What about sad emotions? Use the chat box, unmute yourself, doesn't matter, but write about the all the negative emotions that you feel you are feeling right now.
Ma'am, and anxiety, panicking, anger, frustration.
Oh my God. So much in one frame. Jealousy, yes, you're feeling it for the first time. It's okay.
Ma'am,
It's okay.
ma'am,
Yes.
I want to tell one more emotion that some of the children like what to say in English. Can I say it in Hindi?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल, of course, we all
Like
understand.
चिढ़ जाना एकदम चिढ़
Yes.
किसी भी बात के लिए चिढ़ जाना एकदम.
हाँ हाँ उसको बोलते हैं irritation. You feel irritated.
Ma'am, frustrated.
हाँ, frustrated, irritated. स्ट्रॉन्ग इमोशंस कोई बात नहीं है तो नेगेटिव ही ना अभी तो नेगेटिव की बात कर रहे हैं
Ma'am,
बुलिंग
bullying.
इज नॉट एन
Yes.
इमोशन एंजाइटी ओके गेट हर्ट
Depression.
We feel very fear, and sometimes sad, and sometimes emotionally weak. And like we have supportive wardens, so she support us and she promote us, so that thing sometimes can fit in our mind, and we sometimes go beyond that, and that time we feel very bad and sad, so that is our.
okay
One more
Oh,
thing, ma'am. Hi. To
okay.
girls, there comes a lot of responsibilities also. Now, how to carry themselves. They have to be more cautious. They have to make some certain things with them so that in case of certain emergencies, they can use them. So there come some responsibility, especially for girls, that makes them insecure also.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Ila ma'am. Yes, we will talk about that as well. Of course, we will. But abhi to we are just trying to understand the emotions. So somebody has asked me a question on a private platform. That does our culture and environment affect our puberty? What do you think? Let's have a
No,
conversation.
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes.
Not at all. According to me, it's not.
Why? Yes, no, to theek hai,
Ma'am,
but why?
what is the relation between our culture and the puberty? Like, we can literally see the difference. Our culture that we follow doesn't affect the puberty of ours. Like, our culture doesn't say that if we grow up, then we are going to die.
Oh my God. Yes, Arav, you are right, but little extremely right. Going to the extreme level. But yeah, so I would like to also reiterate here that our culture and environment doesn't affect our puberty, but it definitely affects our mindset. When we
Yes,
are
ma'am.
growing up, we are creating friends, relationships. हमें पता ही नहीं है अभी तक तो we are in a environment जहाँ पे our best friend is our mother, right? Our superhero is our father. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And we love our siblings and cousins and mama ka beta, mami, chacha ka beta, so on and so forth. So we have a very close community. But when we grow up, we also understand about a lot of other emotions and other relationships. Yeah. So the answer to this is that it doesn't directly affect our the culture, and this environment doesn't affect our puberty directly, but at a very small minimalistic level where we are talking about mindset. Yep, I have another one, a personal question. We get sad when we get to know that your friend is doing your backbiting.
Ma'am,
Okay.
please repeat.
We get sad when we get to know that your friend is doing your backbiting. That is the most sad thing. We get sad when we get to know your friend is this. Okay, so much repeat. Yes, that is, last time we did talk about this whole segment where we are talking about bullying. Yeah. Indirect bullying is what we spoke about last time. And this is what it is. And I think last time I gave the solution. So whoever has messaged me this, the best thing is that within 24 hours, please go and talk to that person and say it, express your feelings because you're feeling sad and that maybe you don't even know it because you've heard it from somebody, right? If you think that she's my friend or he's my friend, you need to go and talk. That's the only way to give solution. Okay, there's another person who has asked me that does friendship affect puberty? What do you think? Friendship,
Ma'am,
puberty.
according to me, it doesn't affect.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
according to me, ma'am, puberty does
So
not.
I what the
Ma'am, friendship does not affect puberty. Ma'am, puberty affects friendships.
Yeah.
Very
Ma'am,
interesting.
it
Yes,
depends
yes.
upon
Actually.
the group you are have. Like what kind of friends you have. Like if they are
What do you mean by a
very
friend? No, no, no. Define friendship. What is a
Ma'am,
who
ma'am,
is a
ma'am,
Radha?
ma'am, according to me,
Arav.
friendship is
Chalo. Continue,
ma'am,
continue.
ma'am, according to me, friendship is something that like our parents. Like we can share our secret to them. Like he's a trust to us. He or she is a trust to us.
Okay.
According to me.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, I think so. Friendship can affect us, affect puberty, because like sometimes we are not able to share the things from our friends because we think we cannot trust them. But I think so. The friends are those who trust you, and I can trust her and him. So, like, parents are also friends, but we are not that much frequent to our parents. Like, it depends upon what kind of parents you have. They
Yeah.
are very
So,
friendly,
so
or what?
yeah. So Veda, technically, puberty affects friendship, not friendship affects. i- You are saying friendship affects puberty.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
according
It
to
is
me,
totally opposite, but we are still continuing. Yes, Aradhana.
according to me, I don't think so कि puberty affect friendship. Yes, but it can make friendship sometimes very strong, or bond between two friends very strong, or it can be neutral also.
Okay. Kshitij?
Ma'am, I too say that friendship affects puberty affects friendship. As ma'am, a friend is a person who is like a parent, and it friendship is the relationship between two people where two can trust each other and help each other whenever required, ma'am. And friends are really close, so we can share our feelings with them, and we can share our feelings with them and converse with them daily. But we cannot do the same with our parents. And we are sometimes we are frustrated, we are angry. So if our friends make a joke, then we will get very angry and then try even do something like ending friendships and so on.
Yeah. Okay. Summer,
Ma'am,
thank you
it's
for
totally on
sharing.
our mindset.
Okay.
What we think or what our friends think. It's totally on.
Okay. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Divyanshu, you've unmuted.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. So when we talk about does friendship affect puberty or puberty affects friendship, it all depends on what do we mean by friendship and who is your friend and how is that person making you feel. Because of course, if you're a true friend, you will not judge, you will be kind in puberty, and also you'll be a real friend. A real friend is a real friend. That's it. And you're also learning what is friendship, who is a friend, so on and so forth. So it's a journey. So you don't really have to feel very bad about it. Yes, if you get to know something, you need to go and talk about it. But, but you need, it's more to do with the conversation that, okay, somebody, if Jugjeev sir has said something about me to somebody, I go and talk to him that, why did you say that? I thought you're my friend. Okay, let Jugjeev sir tell me that, okay, I said that because I feel this way. Okay, and then we have now when we're talking that, okay, we are adults, we're becoming like adults, so then we need to act also like adults, right? Pawan, you need to mute yourself, please. Thank you. Now let's go to the next question. Ma'am, does puberty affect our studies? What do you think?
I think yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Puberty
because
can
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes make
it's
us
a,
distracted.
you are on a speedboat. Puberty is like a speedboat. You are sitting on a speedboat, and then you have to study also on a speedboat, and then you also have to take care of your relationships with friends, family, so on and so forth. You have to focus on your career also. I think if you can just be on that boat, with like a pro, then I would say that you can handle anything in your life. I'm not joking. Just imagine, just everybody close your eyes and just imagine you're on a speedboat and then you have to worry about your studies. You have to worry about your relationships. You have to worry about, oh, I have to go back and do this also, do that also, games also. Yeah. Holidays also. So there's so much happening in your life, so much. But that's okay. That's a part of puberty. But does it affect your studies? It all depends on your conviction, your passion towards your career. But if you think that you're not able to, if it's affecting your studies, somebody who's saying that, yes, it is affecting my studies, you need to go and talk to the counselor. You need to go and talk to somebody that you trust and who's an adult. Friends नहीं, friends तो solve ही नहीं कर सकते. Yeah. Mr. Prem Kumar, you can just mute yourself. Thank you.
बाय मैम कैसे हो
Okay. Another very, very technical question. Ma'am, can we please discuss the factors that affect puberty and what doesn't, rather than accepting all the questions, including single factor? Can anybody explain me this?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question again?
Okay. The question is, can we please discuss the factors that affect puberty and what doesn't, rather than accepting all the questions, including single factor? A little
Ma'am,
confused.
Ma'am,
Yes.
according to me, the factors affecting puberty is our
मैम ये
health,
भी किसने
our
बोला
hygiene,
Yeah.
and the factors which doesn't affect puberties are environment and friendship, according to.
Anybody else would like to share? Arfa?
I think genes affect puberty as well as nutrition if we are having a proper diet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Viraj, you have also unmuted. Okay. So this question is little the affect and effect problem is coming here. So I'm not able to understand exactly what is the intent of this question, but I'm going to answer it on both levels. So when can we discuss the factors that affect puberty? Well, first, the all the factors that affect puberty are beyond our control. So it doesn't even matter. Let's not get there. That किसकी वजह से puberty हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है? Let's just accept everything that happens to our body, understand and just, go with the flow. That's the best way when we can deal with puberty. And also, an interesting thing about puberty is that it's not limited to okay, अभी मैंने तो सुना था कि मेरे से it is only a 10-year journey. No, for some it can be a 12-year journey. For some it can be a 5-year journey also. Yeah, there are girls, अगर हम girls की बात करें, उनका जो periods है, menstruation है, वो थोड़ा late भी शुरू होता है, किसी का थोड़ा जल्दी शुरू हो जाता है. So it all depends on a lot of factors when we say affecting this, and what doesn't affect, as I said, you're on a speedboat. So there will be a lot of effect that is happening, that is going to bring a lot of change in your mindset, body, on a physical level, on an emotional level. So there's a lot of stuff happening. But whoever has asked this question, I would request if you can be little more specific, if you can. I have answered your thing. Okay, good.
मैम
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to answer that. According to me, the most important factor of puberty is our hormonal changes, and it is very important to control it. I think this is
How
the
do
most
you,
important
but
factor.
okay, very nicely put, but I need to understand. Everybody is saying कि हमें ये करना चाहिए, this is what we should do, but how? How are we doing it? Saying that yes, we should control our emotions, but do you think we can control our emotions at this age?
No, ma'am.
Then we are here talking about the real stuff. We are not here talking about stuff which, we don't even know. Puberty is beyond our control. Let's accept it. Yeah. And when we say puberty, we are talking about emotions also. You are learning, there's a lot of, back and forth happening in the system. With boys, there's a lot of testosterone is pumping, a lot of testosterone beyond your control. It is just pumping. What do you do? What can you do? Nothing. But if you think that you've done something wrong, if you think that you've made somebody uncomfortable, at least go and talk. Yes, we can blame it on puberty, but at least we can fix it because we know we have a heart and we know they are our friends. Giving a lot of effort that, okay, मुझे अभी ये नहीं करना है, I don't want to, I should not do this, I should not do this. You are just putting a lot of energy which is beyond your control. I hope you're able to understand that. Yes, we try to control our emotions. We try to control our emotions. That's better than nothing. Yes, of course, wherever you think you can control your emotions, fantastic. But if you think that, अच्छा मेरे से तो हुआ ही नहीं, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं चला, when did I say this? I didn't even realize it. At least go and apologize. We need to go and apologize if we feel that, okay, उस time पे I didn't realize मैंने ये बोल दिया. Oh no, he's my friend. How can I do this to my friend? Because that anger, happiness, all these emotions are temporary. They 1 minute, 2 minute, you get happy, very happy, then you're back to normal. Or you get very sad and you're back to normal. So you need to just talk it out. That is something that, my solid recommendation is. Okay, I missed a lot of messages on the main chat room, but that's okay. I will come to the next question. Okay. In fact, we have only spoken about one thing when we talked about puberty. What's that one weird thing that you feel about puberty? And we just spoke about it. Anything else which is weird and which is like, why? So why do we feel bad about ourselves during puberty? Because you are understanding your own self as well. Yeah, you are understanding your own emotions. कि अच्छा अभी मुझे अपने बारे में बुरा लग रहा है. Oh, I am, because the self-worth, the self-image, all these things are what puberty brings in. That's a very critical thing. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about was self-image. But yes, there are two people who have raised their hands. The first one, Sunbeam Baliawas, I think. I don't know. Sunbeam, you can unmute yourself.
Astha.
Yeah, Jai Hind, ma'am.
Jai Hind.
Ma'am, this is Astha of Sunbeam Balia, and I have one question that what role does our emotional control play in our decision making?
Very vague question, Astha. You need to be more specific if you can. I can't answer this
But why?
because this is a very generic question. So the generic question will have a generic answer. It's not going to help anybody. I want you to give me an example, just an example.
Oh, let
It's
me think, ma'am.
yeah, think about it. You can send it to me personally also, or you can raise your hand, no problem. Yes, Veda.
Now I'm thinking that when you are in speedboat, you're floating on something like water. So when you are in lake, your destination is very small, and when you are in sea, your destination is very big.
Yeah.
And I think so, like the things going under the water is does not affect you. But sometimes if you see a whale, it can affect you. But if you see a dolphin, it does not affect you. Like dolphins are very friendly.
Friendly.
So I think so, like the universe cannot affect your puberty. The things are going around you, it cannot affect puberty. But the things are very critical, and the things that can touches your mind, like the big things can affect the more.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
in lake, they are very small kind of fishes. In lake, they does not affect you, but
But we don't know where we are. Do you? How can we
yes,
decide where we are? Are we on a lake?
yes,
Are we on a small pond? Speedboats, though, they don't run on lakes, right?
yes, sir.
They are, when we talk about
Yes.
Puberty, our growth, why are we limiting ourselves to a lake, right? Let's go to the ocean. We'll see, we'll figure out. Yep, we'll see, we'll figure out. Whale आएगा देख लेंगे, dolphin आएगा, we'll do a high five and move on. It's fine. Astha, were you able to refine your question? Because I'm very curious to know that. But Arav, you have unmuted by mistake. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm preparing a something curious type of example, so please give me some minutes.
No problem. No problem. Take your time. Okay. So now when we have understood about the bad feelings of puberty, we have understood it's beyond our control. We have also understood the good feelings about puberty. Yeah. So there is one very critical question I want to ask, and I want the boys to answer for girls and the girls to answer for boys. Let's try that.
Ma'am,
So
you want us to debate?
no, 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 no
Ma'am,
debate.
answering each other's curiosity.
Okay, I have not even finished my question. Yeah, curiosity kills the cat, Kshitij. Let's listen carefully. My question. Let the boys answer for girls and girls answer for boys about what are the different changes that happen in boys during puberty and girls during puberty. And if you think that you're not comfortable, you can talk about your own gender as well. But we need to be a little more comfortable about understanding, ठीक है, body तो है. It's fine. I see a lot of boys switching off their cameras. Come on. You can laugh also. That's fine.
Ma'am,
Yes, Veda.
ma'am, I think so. During the age of puberty, boys became anger and rude.
Rude and angry. Chalo.
Ma'am, that is due to
Ma'am,
ma'am.
that is very much false. That is very much false.
No.
Not
No,
that much.
it's not.
That's very much false.
Arav, Arav,
Fault.
Arav, we are
Ma'am, it
not
is due
being
to
con-
ma'am
No,
mood
no,
swings.
no. It is just okay. This is not somebody is justifying anybody. No, this is what she feels. Can we just respect what she feels? It's
Ma'am,
okay.
ma'am, I think what she feels is because ma'am boys can get irritated.
Kshitij, there is nobody is asking for a justification. Nobody. I said the boys have to share how, girls, what are the changes that happen in girls. Boys को उतना ही बोलना है.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes, Arav.
ma'am, according to me, like the girls get very much jealous from others. Like we
Okay,
can see that also.
ठीक है. Okay,
Like
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank
our
you.
mother and father.
Thanks, Veda. Thanks, Veda. Thanks, Veda. I think we will let's stick to the physical changes. Let's stick to physical changes. What are the physical changes that boys have and the
Ma'am,
girls cannot
muscle
have?
development. Muscle development in boys.
Muscle development in boys. It's, don't you feel it's for girls also, muscle development?
But ma'am, when boys get into puberty, I mean, just they get too much curious to make their body to go into the gym.
Ah, like that.
Ma'am,
Okay.
body shape.
That's the testosterone talking. Yes.
Ma'am, girls
Ma'am,
don't accept their mistakes, ma'am.
Wow,
Ma'am,
Kshitij.
I am accepting my mistakes. I think
Oh my
so. In
God.
the age of puberty, we focus on our skin. We do skin cares, and probably we want to like uh
But
look
the
beautiful.
girls were talking about boys, not girls.
Ma'am, I think
But if
so.
if if it if we think that it's not going to work out, where Kshitij is very critical,
Ma'am,
including there was another one, Arav. Arav and Kshitij are very, very being the critique that okay, yes, we know how girls feel during puberty.
after puberty, we all always used to look after our close nails. what are
Ma'am,
wearing, what are using, means am I looking fashionable, am I looking smart, am I looking handsome, type of everyone
ma'am,
used to see, means whenever they walk out first they used to see that am I looking nice for, and that type
Yes,
of
of
thing.
course.
ma'am.
Self-image is something. Yes, Arav. Yes, Arav, you complete, please.
Ma'am,
Not able to hold your
according to me, in girls, the physical changes during puberty are the acne and the pimple happening. It is also in boys, but not more than the girls, because it is very much in girls and girls.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
very much in girls.
Physical changes की बात कर रहे हैं. Yes. Anything else?
Ma'am, I think so. Like when we are in age of puberty, we have lot of options. Like in dresses, we have lot of option. In lipsticks, in makeup, we have lot of options. But boys doesn't have,
Okay.
and
They have a
if
lot
they
of.
have, they will also do like us. We
Okay.
have lot of options. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. I
Ma'am,
got
we also have options in our choosing our
yes.
shirts, choosing our mobile
Shoes.
phones, our covers of
Shoes.
mobile phones, the skins of the mobile phone, what mobile, their amount, their price,
Okay, guys,
etc.
we only
etc.
have 10 minutes. So we are going to talk about, yes, Galaxy M02. You can unmute yourself. The person who has raised their hand can unmute.
Ma'am, I had a question, ma'am.
Yes, Kshitij.
Why do boys have to, ma'am, do much more work than, ma'am, physical work than girls, ma'am? Ma'am, like if we are getting punishments, we have to do double of them, that of girls, and ma'am.
Ma'am, that's unfair actually.
Yeah.
Actually, that's unfair.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ma'am,
Okay.
gender inequality.
Okay. Okay. So we will come to a very, very, let's go to the Stone Age. Okay. The Flintstones times, the Stone Age time, when the girls were used to be in the caves, taking care of the home, yeah, cooking, taking care of the kids. And the boys, what were they doing? They were going for hunting. Were they going for hunting?
Yes.
Yeah, they were going for hunting. And all the muscular things. So basically, all I'm saying is that the boys, the
Ma'am,
men,
how does that matter in modern time, ma'am?
I know I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that, Kshitij. We are still, when we talk about gender equality, we are not saying that because the build of a man is very different from a woman. Do we agree to that first?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The build, the power, the physical power is the men have more than women. Do we agree to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But when we talk about equality, we are talking about the cerebral equality, the mental level, that is equal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about punishment, I think we need to, Jugjeev sir, we need to figure out who are these teachers who are punishing men more than women. But I just wanted to clear that whole communication here where we talk about the difference between men and women and what do we mean by gender equality. We don't mean that, the girls also have to do 100 push-ups to be like men. No. Gender equality means that there's a equal level of respect for both the genders. बट अभी तो प्यूबर्टी है ना, अभी तो टेस्टोस्टेरॉन भी पंप हो रहा है, तो
Ma'am, ma'am,
समझ
some
ही नहीं आएगा. We will talk after when you are after, when you grow up, when the puberty phase is over, then you will understand. That's what
ma'am,
we.
some teachers say that, ma'am, girls are Lakshmi, ma'am, so we don't have to beat them, but we will beat you, ma'am.
ये तो फिर that's a very Jugjeev sir, I need your help here. That's
Ma'am,
the
if
reason,
girls
but
are
No, no,
Lakshmi,
let's
then we
move
are
on.
also Ganesh
Summer,
of our
Summer
house.
wanted to come in some time back. Summer, you raised your hand. You want to come in? You're on mute, Summer.
No, sir, I don't want to say something now. That time I have to say that we have also our perfume collection, our watches collection, etc.
Yes, thank you so
And
much.
I think also, I think Asta has raised
Yeah,
her
she is
hand. Maybe
also, yeah, she has also raised her hand.
Yes, ma'am. I have prepared my example question that I have asked you. My question was, what role does emotional control play in our decision making? Like, whenever we make any decision in very much excitement or in very much anger, that leads to our future secretly. So, ma'am, do we still trust our decision making in our emotional control, like when we were in anger, when we were in excitement that we have made? So, do we still trust our lead or our dis- decisions in emotional controls?
Okay, so Asta, when we talk about this, it all depends on the kind of decision that you're taking. That is why the adults in your life play a very important role. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
they know you, they understand you, and they trust you and they love you. So if you're in a dilemma that okay, this is what I need to do, should I do this, should I not do this, and what kind of decision? Because let's be very, very clear here, and let's make this a thumb rule in our life. A disturbed mind is going to take a disturbed decision. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you need to understand that am I disturbed or not? What if today I tell that okay, Jugji sir is not my friend, and tomorrow I'm feeling bad about it. Why? Because that decision was made because I was disturbed that time. But
Yes, ma'am.
so we just do a null and void. We do not respect those decisions which are taken when we are disturbed.
Disturbed.
But when we talk about decisions that we want to take because suddenly we feel that we are adults now, which are related to your career or something very, very critical in your life, please involve some trusted adult, like your teachers, like your mentors, like your counselors,
Oh,
you
I have
know,
a question.
so on and so forth. Oh,
Ma'am,
somebody has
why,
started the
ma'am,
whiteboard.
why can't we stick to our decisions what we made in puberty? Like, I would try to change myself. I would spend my Sunday doing homeworks, and then when the time comes, ma'am, we think like, leave this. It can be delayed. I will do it later, like that.
I didn't get it. Sorry, you were not very audible.
Ma'am,
But that's okay. Hmm.
ma'am, due to random motivation, we take out like we will take strong decisions. I will improve myself. I will eat healthy. I will do my homework. I will spend my Sunday on productive activities. But
Yeah,
when the time comes, we are just
not
out
able to
of our
do
time.
that. Yeah, I'll tell you why. That is also, I will not say it is 100% because of puberty, but then as humans, what we do is we always ask for more. We don't start with small steps. So again, to help you become a much more better person with a better willpower, again I have a suggestion where you can start with things which are done within 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So if you want to do that, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, mujhe ye bhi karna hai, wo bhi karna hai, but make a list of things which can be done in 2 minutes, so that at least you know that yes, I can do that. Yes, like for example,
So,
i
ma'am, we
I
should
did
take
that.
last minute decisions.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Akanksha?
Akanksha has a hand up.
Yes, yes, yes. We are running out of time. Yes, Akanksha.
Ma'am, when I was saying you were asking about the change in boys during puberty, I think they have also a change in their voice. Their voice becomes a bit loud.
Yeah, for boys and for girls, Akanksha, I would like to say, yes,
No, ma'am, for girls, there's no change in the voice.
no, it changes. It changes. You don't realize it, but it's not that husky or that loud that you feel the change. But yes, it of course, because the reason for that is that your vocal cords are also growing. So when your vocal cords grow, then there is a crack in the voice or there's a squeak in the
Yes,
voice. For
ma'am.
boys, it's yeah. So that is also a part of puberty. Yes, Atharv has very nicely said Adam's apple. Yes, that is a part of testosterone. that, is there. So now I think we've understood, and keeping the time in mind, I thought of, I think we'll just quickly wrap up the whole session where I want you all to understand, what have you learned today from this session? What is that one thing that you've understood?
Ma'am, I understood about puberty, how it works. We should not worry about it. It is okay to be insecure and many more things, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
it is
Same.
okay. Yeah, it is okay, because puberty is not a race. We will grow at our own pace. That's all I say this to everybody. It's not a
Ma'am,
race.
we get
Yes.
to know about what is puberty, how important is puberty for our lives, and
Yeah. You can use the chat box also. Anybody who wants to just add that, what did you learn? Hormones, yes. बॉयज में टेस्टोस्टेरॉन होता है, गर्ल्स में एस्ट्रोजन होता है. When you're born with both. Girls also have testosterone, but a very small amount. Boys also have estrogen, but a very small amount. That's how the XY and YY chromosomes happen. But if you're young, that's okay. You can Google it or just ignore. Yes, you're saying somebody out of Sharaf, you're just putting cross. Ela ma'am, I'm sorry I could not take up that question that yes, we need to take care of ourselves and stuff. But I think in the later, or maybe we can have a detailed session, because puberty cannot be just spoken about it in an hour. But the agenda of today was to at least understand the basics of puberty. What do we mean by grow up? Yeah, what is growing up? And it can be a 10 to 12 years journey. 10 to 12 years journey. अभी आप सोच लो आपके कितने साल बच गए हैं अभी. Yeah. And also, I think another very critical thing that we learned today was that when we say gender equality, what do we mean by that? I hope that is also clear. We're
yes,
not
ma'am.
looking at the physical that, okay, 100 push-ups girls can do and 100 push-ups boys can do. No, we
Yes,
don't have to. Yeah. Girls have the most power, the most powerful organ. Do you know which is the most powerful organ in a human body? Do you know that?
ma'am, our limbs.
No, the most powerful.
And brain.
Nope. Nope. The most
Veda talked
powerful.
about it.
Then
No,
Ma'am,
the
heart.
most powerful organ in a human body is uterus, because it grows. Otherwise, there is no organ which grows, and that is why the women are, respected more and have much more power in terms of bringing a life to this world. Yeah. So the most powerful organ in a human existence or any species is the uterus, which women have. So now we know that how important it is to respect each and every woman, including your friends, your family, and everybody in your life. Yes, Akanksha, you have raised your hand. Oh, by mistake, maybe. All right. So, Satvik was very diplomatic. He said tongue is, yes, tongue is also very powerful, because we can stop wars because of our tongue, because of what we speak. We have the caliber as humans, we can stop wars or start wars as well.
Ma'am, one more thing which I have from our session is that we should try to control our emotions, and if we can't control, we should go and talk to the person, because
Yes, absolutely.
communication is the key, according to you.
Yes, 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 absolutely. That is there. Thank you so much, Akanksha. This was also very, very critical, where we also need to understand that, yes, puberty, we are growing. नहीं पता चलता है, क्या कर सकते हैं? Sometimes we don't know what it is. We are also exploring, we are also learning. So, so That's about it from my side, Jugjeev sir.
Thank you.
I know we have 3 minutes. I don't know if I can do that last activity I spoke about, leave that to you. But
Yeah, of course. Of course.
yeah, okay, great. So if I can get the access to share my screen.
Manisha?
And before before I say goodbye, are we all ready to sing a song? A very interesting song which will talk about puberty. I think so, which you can probably relate yourself with. So I'm going to share my screen. You will see the lyrics. It's a Bollywood song. We all have heard about it, but let us just go in that zone. If anybody wants to sing, you can with unmuted. Okay. I don't want to, it'll create a lot of chaos otherwise.
No, create chaos. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. You all can, if anybody wants to get up and dance, you can do that. If you want to sit and sing, you can do that too. I leave that decision to you guys. Okay. Let me quickly share my screen and let's just all of us dance together. 1 second.
Ma'am, really interesting session, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
really interesting session, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, we
Yes,
want
Thank you
we
for
one
like
more
this.
guidance,
session
ma'am.
from.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
We want
yes.
everyone.
one more
Shikha will be
session.
back.
We want
Shikha will be back.
Ma'am, we want
Shikha will
one
be
more
back.
session.
Yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
we
Shikha
want
will be
one more
back. Only
session.
one.
See you,
no,
ma'am.
Only
ma'am.
one.
Those are many.
Shikha will be back. Not to worry.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. I hope to see you soon and all the best and enjoy the reading session now. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
one
Thank
more
you and
session,
Jai
ma'am,
Hind, ma'am.
please.
Yes,
Thanks a lot,
Arav.
Shikha.
Thank you
One
and
more
Jai Hind,
session,
ma'am.
one more session,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes,
Only
absolutely.
one.
Another day. Another one more, sir, I'm saying.
No. Shikha will be back.
We would,
But right now,
yeah, I would
Brinda,
also
that's a
like to
tough
have,
act to follow.
yes,
So, but
and also, Jugjeev sir, I would love to have a session only for boys and then only for girls so that we can have more discussion on the puberty and so on and so forth, if that's an option sometime.
let's
Think about it. Yeah,
figure out how we can manage
yeah,
that.
we
I
can
mean,
do
I'd
that.
like to do what you're suggesting.
Yeah,
I think it'll have value. So let's figure out how kaise kar sakte hain.
absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
So
you,
all the
everyone.
best, Shikha.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you and
I'll
Jai Hind,
connect with
ma'am.
you
Thank you,
Thank
separately.
you,
Jane, ma'am.
This is a
thank
lovely
you,
Thank
and
you
session.
and
Jane,
Jai
ma'am.
Hind, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Bye.
Thank you,
Jane.
and Jane, ma'am.
Thank you, and
Bye.
Jane, ma'am.
Thank you, and Jane, ma'am.
Thank you, and Jane, ma'am.
Have a nice day, ma'am. Have a
And
nice
Jane,
day,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you and Jai Hind, ma'am. Thank you and Jai Hind, ma'am. Ma'am, Jai Hind.
Okay, Brinda, without much ado, over to you.
Thank you. I saw the enthusiasm for the last session, and I hope the enthusiasm stays on as we continue with our reading. And I got a little feedback that we did a lot of reading last week. So I'm promised this week we'll go a little slow. And children, please feel free to stop and ask me for meanings if
Ma'am, your voice is gone.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was my screen or Brinda's screen, but yeah, I think just give her a minute or two, she'll be back. So this we are reading the inner life of animals, and Brinda was just saying that you know feel free to stop or ask any meaning, and what we just the session that we did, I found that many of you were into the session, right? And that's when we gain most. So I'd encourage everybody to try and pay attention, to what's being read and try and participate, right? When your mind is engaged, we all learn more. So I just encourage you to do that. Let's just wait for Brinda to get back. So while we are waiting, what do you want Shikha to come back and talk about next time? Any subjects, any ideas you all have?
Ma'am,
Any
sir,
thoughts?
adolescence.
Adulthood,
Yeah.
yeah. When you become adult, then you'll experience it, then we'll talk, no? Something else.
Adolescence.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that today, right? So you want
Mental
to talk
health.
more
We
about
talked
it?
about puberty actually, sir.
Some
Yeah, but
mental health.
adolescence and puberty are linked, right?
Yes, little bit it is linked actually.
No, no, we
Yes,
can
sir.
certainly, if there's
Okay.
specific things in this thing that you want to talk about, we can talk
Mental
more.
health.
Do you have any feedback on the what she said that let's have one session for boys and a separate session for girls? Do you want to do that?
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
Yes, sir. Of
yes,
course.
sir.
We can
Yes,
do
Okay,
that.
Yes,
then
sir.
how
Yes, sir. We
then
have.
how do we
Yes,
do that?
sir.
Yes, sir. We have, of course.
How do
Of
we
course.
do
Can.
that? On one
Uh,
Sunday we say only boys come, and then one Sunday we say only
No,
girls
no,
come.
sir.
No,
Sir,
sir,
so,
that
actually,
will not be
1 hour
good.
for girls and 1 hour for boys.
no,
Ah,
no.
okay, yeah, that's one way to do it. Good plan.
Sir, we
Good
can
plan.
do that. We can sell two links, one for boys and one for girls. So in one
Ah,
link
so
that
they're
we can
not
sell them.
secretly spying on us. Okay, good plan. Okay, so is Brinda back? No, no, maybe we'll just wait for a second for. Okay, so what? So that's your idea on how we can do it. I'll connect with Shikha and see, what to talk about next time. So one idea that's come is adolescence, puberty, a little more about the same subject. Any other ideas? What else you want to talk about with her?
Mental health.
A little louder, Veda.
Mental health.
Mental health. Okay. Were you there when Karthik was there, Veda? I don't think you were there. It's that session is there on YouTube. Uh, it was, I think, on the 15th of June. Have a look at that. Karthik, it was a very good session where it was the first part of it was a follow up of the Ikigai session we'd had, and where he talks about, following his heart and following his passion. It was a YouTube video. It's not there on. The link is shared separately on the chat, and you can, get the TED talk on that, and then we talk about that, and we talk about many other things. A lot of mental health aspects are covered. So, okay, Brinda, you're back.
Yeah,
That's
sorry,
great.
the electricity went off, so
Yeah. It's
yeah,
always a hassle. So,
that's right.
Manisha, you'll have to go back.
Manisha, please go back to the first page. Snipe, that's the chapter we're going to read. Snipe mess. Uh,
No,
no, no, snipe mess. I think in my book it is on page 161. You had opened it in the first, when you first opened it.
yeah, Arfa's idea is also a
Yeah,
good one, but then how to have in both places? We'll
yeah,
figure it out. We'll figure it
right.
Excuse
Okay,
me, ma'am.
out.
so
Okay, here we are. Over to
thank
you,
you.
Brinda.
So we have this chapter now on snipe mess. Last week we read two, three chapters, one after the other, and the last chapter that we had read was about once wild, forever wild, and it was about this wild dog and the wolf. So today, as I read, children, if you have anything that you do not understand, please ask me. First, let's discuss what the word snipe means and what mess means, right? So, does anybody know the meaning of the word snipe?
Ma'am, snipe means to shot someone from a
To
long
shoot
distance.
someone. Very good. Yes,
From a
Arav,
long
it
distance.
does. Yeah, it does mean that. Snipe is also a bird which lives in the marshes. So now let's see what the author is going to talk to us about. And I think he's going to talk to us about some horses also. So let's have an idea of what he's trying to tell us.
Excuse me,
As I
ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, I wanted to read this chapter. Can I, please?
You can definitely. Please do. I'll be happy to hear you read.
Thank you, ma'am. So, can I begin with the chapter right now?
Yes, snipe mess.
Thank you. Snipe mess. As I have already mentioned in the chapter on shame and regret, our horse Zippy and Bridgie are fed a portion of concentrated feed at noon. The energy rich grain is meant to beef them up a bit, especially our older houses. Zippy clearly horse don't chew their food very thoroughly. because we find a fair number of undigested seeds in their droppings, and now things get rather
Unappetizing.
unappetized, unappetizing,
Unappetizing.
unappetizing, because our horse crows, which are always hanging about close to the pasture, have their eyes on these. They pick the horse apples apart and peek out individual oat
Peck
seeds.
out. Peck out.
Peck out individual oat seeds. Yummy. I think it looks pretty disgusting. And so the question is, how tasty can such excrement coated food really be? Do animals have any sense of taste like us? The answer is they definitely do. But it is adapted to different traditional fare than our plate
Pallets.
palates. Of course, there are also difference when it comes to our taste buds. Just think of the 100 years old eggs, so beloved in China. Too
Beloved.
many
So beloved in China.
beloved in China. Too many Europeans at least. These dark, translucent eggs conjure up vision of rot and decay rather than culinary delight.
Delight. Okay, great. So we'll just take a pause here, and I just want to explain a few things here to you. Now, what were the names of the horses? Can anyone tell me? Zippy and there were two
Bridgie.
horses, Zippy and
Bridgie.
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 Yes, Bridgie. And who was the older one?
Zippy, ma'am.
Zippy was the older one. Okay. So now this chapter is about the feeding habits of some birds as well as of horses, as we can gather from the first paragraph. And he talks about how horses, they don't chew their food properly. वो ठीक से खाना चबाते नहीं हैं. And so a lot of full seeds and other things come out with their excrement. Okay. And so the birds which are hanging around, particularly the crows, he gives this example of the crows which are always there. They pick up the seeds and the other things from the dung of the horses and they eat that. So he starts wondering whether the animals have any sense of taste, because if you look at all this, it's very unappetizing, it says over here. What is the meaning of the word unappetizing and what is appetizing? Obviously, unappetizing is the opposite of appetizing, but what is appetizing? It's very close to the word appetite. Do you understand the word, children? What can you guess? Unappetizing, what would it mean from the paragraph that we are reading? Any guesses?
It could be disgusting.
It could be
That make us
Disgusting.
feel hungry or attractive.
unappetizing is not something that makes you feel hungry. It's the opposite. Appetizing is something that makes you feel hungry or want to eat, but
Yes, ma'am.
unappetizing is the
Unappetizing means
opposite. You don't want to eat some
Something
food
very
which doesn't
weird.
look nice.
that's common.
Something very weird.
Something weird, something disgusting, something which doesn't look good to you, right? When you see a very well decorated food item in front of you, something which looks good, you feel hungry. And that's called an appetizing food. Whereas unappetizing is something that doesn't make you feel hungry. In fact, it makes your hunger probably go away. So he wonders whether these birds have any sense of taste at all. And the answer also he gives us that they do, but it is adapted to different traditional fare from our palates. So, palate over here means our taste. We all have a different sense of taste. Now, even in human beings, the sense of taste can differ. It can be different from place to place, from tradition to tradition, from family to family. Likewise, the food that birds eat and find tasty is obviously very, very different from what human beings find. Okay? So there are differences when it comes to our taste buds, but just think of the 100-year-old eggs so beloved in China. Beloved means loved by. Most Chinese love this 100-year-old egg. And we all know that Chinese eat all kinds of weird things. We have heard so many stories, haven't we, of Chinese eating
Yes, ma'am.
insects and yes. So this 100-year-old egg, for us, when we think of a 100-year-old egg, we'll probably think that it smells, it stings, and it's not appetizing to us. But for the Chinese, it's a delicacy. It's something that they like very much, and it is liked by all the Chinese over there. So, to many Europeans at least, these dark, translucent eggs. What is translucent? It's different from transparent.
Ma'am, slightly visible.
Pardon me?
Slightly visible, ma'am.
Slightly visible. Transparent is where you can completely see through it, but translucent is slightly visible, not completely see through. Okay, so it conjures up visions. Conjures up means that it brings to our mind images of this. We can imagine and make a picture in our minds. That's what the word conjure means. So when we think of this food, we think of images of food which is rotting, सड़ रहा है. ऐसे pictures हमारे दिमाग में बनते हैं when we look at 100-year-old eggs, when we think of it. Okay, but for the Chinese, it's a delicacy, right? We don't think of it as a culinary delight, as something that is beautifully cooked. So to each his own. हर हर आदमी को कुछ अलग पसंद होता है. Every person from a different culture likes different kind of food. So that's what it is over here. Our horses, would someone else like to read? Does
Yes,
anyone
ma'am.
else want to read?
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
right. Please. Yeah.
Our horses offer further proof of animals' sense of taste. We have to warm them 2 or 3 times a year.
What happened? Manisha ma'am, we lost the text.
Aryan, Modi,
Aryan,
please
you
don't do
have
this.
to put up a screen there. Please remove that.
Aryan, please don't do this.
Aryan, can you please remove your screen and let Manisha ma'am? Yes, thank you. Oh, we've lost it again.
Manisha, we've lost your screen.
Just give me
We've
a minute,
lost your
ma'am.
screen, Manisha, again.
I'll just put it.
This is what happens when you interrupt.
Yes,
The flow gets
absolutely.
broken and it takes a while to get back. And that's what we do. This is exactly what happens when we try and multitask, by the way.
Our
Absolutely.
horses offer further proof of animals' sense of taste. We have to warm them 2 or 3 times a year. To do this, we squeeze a medicinal paste from a tube into their mouths. Apparently, it doesn't taste good at all because when the two of them notice what's about to happen, they really don't want to be around us. However, the manufacturer has recently made some changes.
I
The
slowly,
deworm
slowly, Arati, slowly.
Go slow. Yeah.
recently made some changes. The deworming treatment now comes in apple flavor, and horses loves apple. Since then, the producer has gone somewhat more
Procedure.
smoothly.
Procedure.
Procedure has gone somewhat more
Okay.
smoothly.
We take a pause here before we turn the page because there are quite a few difficult words here. And also, I want you to look at how the words are being used. We have to worm them. We would look at the word worm generally as a noun. Worm means kida, right? But here, look at the way it is used. It's used as a verb here. We have
To
to
make them
worm them,
comfort,
meaning
to make them comfort, to make them feel comfort.
you no, to worm them means to remove the worms from their body. Do you know that even human beings have deworming tablets? Are you aware of that, children? That there are worms sometimes in us, in our system, in our digestive system, in our stomach,
Mom,
and it has to
yes,
be removed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, periodically, children and sometimes adults also have to be given deworming medicines. So, that's what the author is talking about over here, that these horses had to be given deworming medicine, and it was made very easy for them because they just squeezed a medicinal paste from a tube, like a toothpaste, and put it in their mouth. But first, it wasn't tasting good at all. So they were very unhappy when they brought this tube near them. The horses would guess कि हमें अभी दवाई खिलाने वाले हैं. So they didn't like it. But the manufacturer played a trick on them, and he added the flavor of apple to this deworming medicine, and so now they have a deworming treatment with this apple flavored medicine, and so they are quite all right with it. So this procedure has gone on smoothly. Procedure, you all understand what a procedure is? The way of doing something is a procedure. So here the procedure that he's talking about is the way they have to administer this medicine to the horses. Okay? Yes, sir. Soumya, you can read from here.
Dog owners are also well aware that their pets learn what they like and don't like. For instance, if they change food brands, their four-legged companions sometimes refuse to eat. This was never a problem with Krusty, our French bulldog, who always ate with gusto. However, unfamiliar foods exact their price, at least for us. A short time after any such new meal, a stained cloud from crusty bottoms would waft through the air every 10 minutes or so, filling the room. And then,
Just 1 minute. So here now he from the horses he goes on to talk about his four-legged companion, how they refuse to eat, and he's talking about his dog, Krusty, a bulldog. How many of you have pets at home? Does anyone have a dog at home?
Yes, ma'am, I
Yes,
have
okay.
one.
Summer
Yes,
has
ma'am.
a
Yes,
dog
ma'am.
at
I
home.
have.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay,
I have
good.
one.
So you
Yes,
must have
ma'am. I have.
noticed, yeah, sometimes dogs behave like human babies, right? They
Yes,
also
ma'am.
have tantrums. They also have favorite foods, food that they like to eat and food that they don't like to eat. And they can be quite difficult if you're trying to feed them something they don't like to eat, isn't it?
Yes,
And
ma'am, they
here,
are really happy too
yes,
when they see us.
yes, they're very happy when they see you also. Correct. So here, this uh, the author is talking about Krusty, this bulldog who always ate with gusto. To eat with gusto means to eat very hungrily and happily. All right. Some dogs are not fussy, they love their food. And when you love your food and you eat hungrily and happily, this expression is used that they ate with gusto. But sometimes the food didn't agree with them and they gave off bad smell. Right. Now, who else wants to read?
Ma'am, me.
Yes, please read.
And then there are rabbits, which are slightly more perverse,
Perverse.
even more
Perverse. Hmm.
perverse, even than crows. When it comes to matters of taste, at least the birds only
Peck.
peck around in the facial matter
No,
of
no, no.
others.
In the fecal matter. The word is pronounced as fecal. Okay? Yeah.
In the fecal matter of other and restrict themselves to eat the seeds they find there. But rabbits and hares devour
Devour. It's pronounced as devour.
devour their own excrement, though it must be said that they don't eat all their droppings indiscriminately, just the special ones, like all herbivores.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They have bacteria in their gut that help them dissolve and digest stewed grass and other herbaceous matter.
Herbaceous matter. Just stop for a minute.
Herbaceous matter.
Somebody's got their mic switched on. Can I ask only the person who's reading to keep his mic on and the others to keep them on mute, please? There's someone speaking and we can hear that in the background. So please keep your mics on mute and let only the reader keep his mic on. Yes, carry on, please. Arav.
There are specialized species in the
Species.
species on in the Casium
Secum. Secum.
Sikkim in particular, that break down greens into their component parts. However, some of the end products can only be absorbed in the small intestine, which annoying enough come before the ca- ca- se- s- is
Secum. Hmm.
cake up, and so the beneficial brew sides unused through the digestive tract and inevitably ends up in the outside world once again. What
Okay.
better idea than to smack your lips and enjoy this product from the cascum, fresh from the anus. Ingest it anew and extract valuable calories during its journey through the small intestine. The final processed waste, hard droppings, are completely ignored and are clearly regarded as fecal matters.
Fecal matter. So see, the all birds and animals have some weird sense of eating, right? So he's talking about some birds which only will take out some portions from the excreta and then eat. But here you have rabbits. They don't eat things from other animals excreta, but they eat their own, right? And he goes on to explain how the beneficial brew slides unused through the digestive tract. And now this is something that nature has made. These animals, they eat this stuff and they're able to digest it because they have special features in their body, in their intestine. And this word cecum means there is a little bag, pouch like thing near their small intestine. That's how the animal's body is made, and it's very different from human beings. And that is how nature has provided them with the ability to digest even the rubbish that they're going to pick up and eat. It can't happen with all animals because all animals will not have the same kind of a digestive system, and they might get sick if they eat something that they cannot digest. Like even we human beings, if we eat something that our systems cannot digest, then we can get sick. Okay, is there anything you want to know, children, or can we read further?
Ma'am, we can read further.
We can read further. All right, thank you. Does anyone else want to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Okay, read. What's your name? Because I can only see real me over there. What's your name?
My name is Devpreet Singh.
Okay, right. Read.
We cannot imagine eating excrement,
Excrement.
whether it's from animal or our own, or
Hmm.
at least most of us cannot. And yet there are people who do this, and you can find them in Central Europe.
Hmm.
They are hunters to this day. They shoot snipe, a hunt I find as repulsive as the hunt for whales. To make it even worse, these birds have hardly any meat on.
Hmm. So you see, not only birds and animals, the author is surprisingly talking to us about a community of people who eat excrement, who eat shit, as you know, right? So he talks about this, and he talks about how they hunt a bird called snipe, which hardly has any meat on them. That means it doesn't have any flesh. And yes, continue to read, Dilpreet. And perhaps, okay, we've lost him. And perhaps this is why people have developed an odd way of eating them. The parts of the bird they enjoy include snipe mess, which is the gut along with its contents, that is the fecal matter, finely chopped and dressed up with other ingredients, perhaps with bacon, eggs, and onions. The whole concoction is baked on bread, and there you have it, a hunter's delicacy. Despite the fact that cooking kills worm eggs and other things you find in the bird fecus, just thinking of such treats makes me completely lose my appetite. I'm sure all of us are also feeling very disgusted reading this portion, isn't it? गंदा लगता है ना ये सोच के भी कि somebody can eat this kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I have one question.
Pardon me?
I have one question, ma'am.
Yes, ask.
Jai ma'am. Ma'am, do horses know that their excrement is also someone's food?
Yes, that's what they're saying. That excrement is also somebody's food.
So, ma'am, do the horse know about that?
Do the
What do
horse
you
know
think?
about it? No,
What
we
do you
don't.
think, Asta?
How
Like,
will the horse
know
know? And how does it matter whether the horse knows or not? Right?
for that if horse knows that he will feel proud that he's
They
an
will feel
excrement.
proud. Okay. Maybe they do that their excrement is also of some use to someone. Okay. Maybe they do. Yeah. We don't know the mind of the horse, right?
Yes, of course,
Okay.
ma'am.
Right. Okay. Let's read further. Is someone ready to read, or shall I continue to
Yes,
read?
yeah,
Yes,
ma'am.
read. Please read.
Animals must be able to taste things in order to tell the difference between what is appropriate as food or what is not, and also what is poisonous. By all accounts, however, it seems that many other species don't taste things the way we do. For example, there's a reason the popular children's book character Pooh Bear, like Honey and his friend Tigger, doesn't. Large carnivorous cats, such as lions and tigers, and even marine carnivores such as sea lions, have lost their
Their
receptors
taste
for sweetness,
receptors. Hmm.
their taste receptor for sweetness over the course of evolution. Clearly, sugary foods of no particular interest for these animals, and it's easy to understand why wheat doesn't taste sweet at all.
Yes. So, do you see, we human beings, we do a lot of disservice to our pets because we give them food which they, in their natural state, don't eat. For instance, we give a lot of milk to cats. And I am told by my children who own cats that cats don't drink milk at all. They are not supposed to be fed milk, right? So here, see Winnie the Pooh. How many of you have read Winnie the Pooh books? Has anyone read Winnie the Pooh?
Yes, ma'am.
Who has read it? Who said yes?
Ma'am.
Arav?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who else has read Winnie the Pooh?
Ma'am, me, Arfa.
Okay, very good. So now tell me, what exactly is Winnie the Pooh? Is he a real bear?
Ma'am, actually, Winnie the Pooh is a yellow bear
Hmm.
who wears a red shirt and he likes very much honey.
He likes honey a lot. But I
Yes.
asked you a question, is he really a bear?
No, he's in real life it is not, but in cartoon it was.
Yeah, so you must understand that Winnie the Pooh is actually a teddy bear. It's a soft toy that was owned by a little boy called Christopher Robin. And Christopher was the son of a very famous author who's the author of the Winnie the Pooh series. His name was A. Milne, and he made up stories with Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Tigger is a soft toy, which is tiger, and other soft toys like Heffalump, which is an elephant, and you have the donkey over there, and so many other characters, and the rabbit, who was Winnie's best friend. So he made up stories for his son, who was very, very lonely because he had no brothers and sisters, and his parents lived in a little forest. So he was not even surrounded by other houses where he could have made friends with other children. So when he got so bored and he was so sad, his father decided that he would write stories for him, and he started making up stories, and Winnie the Pooh became so famous, right? So you do have cartoons, but all of you should read the original Winnie the Pooh series, which is not in cartoons or not those Walt Disney
Yes, ma'am.
books. Okay, you have the original unabridged A. Milne books. Maybe you should
Yes, ma'am.
read them. It's
Yes.
beautifully written. All right, so coming back to what we were reading over here. So animals have peculiar eating habits,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
they necessarily don't like sweet. Sweet is
Yes.
something that we have introduced to the animals, like we have ourselves introduced sweet to ourselves, and it's supposed to be one of the worst things that we have done, because they say that before sugar was discovered and started being used by human beings, whatever skeletons have been found, they all have their teeth intact, so that our teeth have started getting spoiled and decayed after the discovery of sugar. All right, I can still hear voices there. Please mute your mics. And we're almost nearing the time of our closure, but let's read on this chapter. Who would like to read now? Is there anyone who would like to read?
हमने से ज्यादा तुम करोगे तुम्हारा
But okay, Akash, you want to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please read. It is even more difficult from there. Hello, Akash. Okay. Yeah, so start reading.
It is even more difficult to compare our sense of taste with that of butterflies. Consider the swallowtail. The female lays her egg only where her young have immediate access to the juicy leaves of suitable plants. That way, all the freshly hatched caterpillars have to do to satisfy their hunger is munch on the leaves around them. However, the butterfly doesn't have to use her mouth parts to test each plant on her way to lay her eggs because she can check them out with her feet.
Yeah,
As she walks around a leaf, her feet, which are equipped with sensory hairs, can taste up to 6 different substances. And that is not all.
substances. Yeah.
The butterfly can even detect the plant's age and health. This may sound unbelievable, but we too can detect whether something is fresh or past its prime just by tasting it. Think of an overripe banana, for example,
Yes.
and
Yes. So, and
being able to taste a plant's health could be crucial to the survival of a butterfly's young. After all, if a plant dies before her caterpillars pupate, their dreams of metamorphosing into butterflies are over.
yes, very good. Manisha ma'am, can you just go back one page, please? I just want to explain something in this paragraph. So you see now, from animals to birds to even butterflies. The author's talking about the swallowtail, and he says that the female lays her eggs only where her young have immediate access to the juicy leaves of suitable plants so that they can easily eat the plants, right? And then he also talks about freshly hatched caterpillars, how they satisfy their hunger, and how birds and animals and insects know exactly which food is fresh, which food is good for them, which is edible and not, just as human beings know. Because when we look at an overripe banana, do we want to really eat it? That's the example he's giving. And then, yes ma'am, you may turn the page. And being able to taste a plant's health could be crucial to the survival of a butterfly's young. Why crucial? Crucial means very significant, important, because otherwise the butterfly's young can die if they don't eat the correct kind of food. After all, if a plant dies before her caterpillars pupate, their dreams of metamorphosing into butterflies are over. Let's look at these two words, children: pupate and metamorphize. Right? What is pupate? It comes from the word pupa. To become a pupa, right, is to pupate. And what is the process of metamorphosis? Who will tell me, children? You must have all studied it in science. Yes, what is metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis is a process of physical changes.
Is a
Like
process of physical change. Give me an example. Here you have an example how the pupas of the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. This entire process of how an ugly looking caterpillar turns into such a beautiful butterfly when it has metamorphized, right? So that's what he's talking about. So is there anything you want to know from this chapter before we close the session today? Any
Ma'am,
questions, children? Yes, sir.
Vrinda ma'am,
Yes.
thank you for a really, really interesting session.
Thank
I just
you.
have one request to you.
Yeah.
If you can just talk to us a little about how to read well.
How to read well. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So, children, the secret of reading well. Children, keep your mics on mute, please. Arav, Arav, mute yourself, please. Thank you.
Ma'am,
And
I
there are
want to
some.
say something. That's why I have
Tell me.
unmuted myself.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I want to say that you talked about the metamorphosis.
Mm.
One more example of it is a mosquito cycle, life
Yes.
cycle of a mosquito.
Okay. Yes. Right. You're right. Correct. Okay. So now, Jugjeev sir wanted me to just talk about how you can read well. Children, the most important thing that you have to look at while you read are the punctuation marks. Now, you all know what punctuation marks are?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah. So you have a comma, you have a full stop, you have an exclamation mark or a question mark. These are the most common ones that you will come across when you're reading a text. So you need to take a pause when you come across a comma, and you need to stop for a little while when there is a full stop. When there's a comma, you take a very, very tiny pause. But when there's a full stop, a slightly longer pause. When there's an exclamation, now why do we use an exclamation sign?
To show a strong
To
expression or
show,
feeling.
yes, you show surprise or you show shock, right? So that has to be brought in your voice when you're reading something. Too much of disturbance today. Why? Children, you must listen when somebody's speaking to you. So when there's a question mark, you read in the same way as you would ask a question when you're talking. So when you're reading, if you remember that you're reading so that someone else can understand what you're saying, you should use the correct expression. When there is a dialogue, understand the dialogue first, understand it, and then bring in those expressions to suit what is being said in that dialogue. That's the way to read, but you have to learn to pronounce your words correctly. So maybe in the next session, sir, I will also give them a few tips on pronunciation, because sometimes words which are spelled in a certain way have to be pronounced in a certain way. So I'll just give them a quick talk on that in the next session that I take. And if there are any other questions that children
Ma'am,
want to ask, yes, yes, tell me.
ma'am, I have an opinion towards reading that everyone says that we should read every day, approx
Mm,
10 to 15 minutes, and
mm,
many of maximum of the students get like who reads the book, and we are not able to complete our syllabus and others are saying to read the book. So I have an
okay.
opinion that if we read with good expression,
Mm,
with good pronunciation, good
mm,
for our fun,
mm,
for our fun, for our you can for our what? For our interest, then we
mm.
can build a habit to read the books.
Yeah,
And
but you,
expression is most important, as you said, that if we build an expression learning or expression reading, then we can have fun and make a habit to read the book every day.
yes, yes, but you know what? You must make it a habit in any case. Whether you read aloud or not is not important. But reading is important. You can read for yourself silently also. Every day, you must read something which is not in your textbook. Just reading your textbook and what is in your syllabus is not enough. You should read other books too, story books, books on some subjects that you like, because it is this extra reading which is going to benefit you much more than what you are going to read only from your textbook. So you should make it a habit of reading about 15 to 20 minutes every day is also sufficient. But a book that you read can be your best friend. right? So you might have a lot of, things that interest you. Some of you may be interested in animals, some of you may be interested in things like human stories of survival. You may be interested in reading about drama that happens in real life. You may be interested in reading murder mysteries or thrillers. So for every kind of taste that you have, there are books available, and there are specialized authors. For example, now we are reading this book on animals, and I have suggested to Sir that we should read an author called Gerald Durrell. So once we finish the inner life of animals, we will move on to reading Gerald Durrell, because Gerald Durrell was the only man in the world who owned his own zoo, right? He's no more, and he's the founder of the World Wildlife Fund, WWF. Okay, so, and he has written very interesting books, and for a man who never went to school, right, and the kind of experiences he had, because he was homeschooled and he lived in very interesting places, and he had his job was to go around the world collecting animals for zoos, and then he set up his own zoo. So very interesting stories about various animals, and they're all real life stories. So once we are through with this book, we will read that too, and you'll find how many things there are for us to know, and such interesting things we can get to know by reading, right? So we'll do that also. Slowly and steadily we'll reach there. All right. I think I should now hand it over to Jugjeev sir, so that he can conclude the session. Okay, somebody's put
Right.
up. Huh.
Yeah, I've only put it.
Good.
I've only put it. I thought you said we talked about bulldog.
Yes,
So I
we did
thought,
talk about a bulldog. Yeah.
I thought I'd sort of
Yes.
show a picture of bulldog from the front and from the side, because it's a
Yeah.
very distinct look versus other species.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
So thank you, Brinda ma'am. That was
You're
fantastic
most
session.
welcome. Thank
And
you.
we look forward to the next one. And thank you, everybody. We've had a really great Sunday morning. And thank you for being here and making it so participative. And look forward to seeing you again next Sunday.
Thank you
All
and
the
Jane
best.
sir. Thank you and Jane ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jen.
Anjan ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jane
Jane
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, Jane ma'am.
Thank you and Jain
Namaste.
sir. Bye sir.
Thank you, and Jane sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jane
Jane
ma'am.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Jane
Jane
sir.
sir.